See him a beast when he hear that sound like yeah, beat on the beat when he hear that sound like woo. Yeah, bitch and the champ only need one round like ha. Yeah, me, I'm a G bring heat in the sound
Fighting at UFC Vegas 72, April 22nd. Let's welcome back to the Scrap News, my man, Brady Hiestand. Brady, how you doing, bro?
Dude, doing great. How you doing, brother?
Awesome, man. Glad to talk to you again. One of my fave guys to talk to in the UFC. First off, question. You ever watch Twin Peaks?
I haven't. No. Twin Peaks? Is that a TV show on Netflix?
I don't know if it's on Netflix. It's old. It's from like the 90s. Then they did a movie, and then there's like a third season that came out in 2018. It's cool. It's by David Lynch. But it's in Seattle, or not Seattle. It's in Washington. So I wore my Twin Peaks shirt, which is my Washington shirt. This is my support for you, bro.
That's what's up. I love it. Yeah. We got some good movies out here. Like I wouldn't really love this movie, but Twilight was filmed out here, Forks, Washington. And
Vision Quest.
Vision Quest is iconic. But yeah, that was in Spokane, our city. So we claimed that movie.
I mean, if you're a wrestler, you probably have watched Vision Quest, or at least you need to if you haven't.
Yeah, if you haven't yet, 100% got to.
And I see the mustache is back. Is that like your new signature? Is that what we can expect every time?
I'm undefeated with the mustache, so I'm gonna keep it going. There's Blonde Brunson, and now there's Mustache Brady, so I think we're gonna keep it going.
I love it, dude. I wish I could grow such a mean mustache. Mine's just like, it looks a little like Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite, but I'll get there
those sometimes go hard. That's a confidence move right there.
I don't have that confidence yet, bro. Maybe someday. So
my girl loves it too, so it's like I gotta keep it.
That's a win-win, dude. And
yeah.
You got some confidence because you're 1-0 in the UFC. We have talked since your big win, but you've had a lot of months to reflect. How does it feel now to be like a solid, solidified 1-0 in the promotion?
It feels great. It feels, especially because, it was such a close decision coming off that Ricky fight. It's good to be back in the winning column and kind of redeeming myself, There's fights I want to get back, but it kind of wore off. It was cool at first. I was like, fuck yeah, I won the UFC, won in the UFC, undefeated. Now I'm just like hungry to get some more wins.
Dude, you've had at least from your Instagram, looks like you've had a very crazy, busy training camp because you're at Sikjitsu. I've seen you down in Vegas more. You've been training with some bigger names, which I'll get into in a minute. But what's your training schedule kind of been like this time around?
Yeah, so for the first month of camp, I went down because Mike Hiestand was supposed to fight actually last weekend in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're obviously on the same team. And so we took our whole team down to Vegas just because we have the PI, and Syndicate. There's a lot of good bodies for both of us there. So yeah, the first month we went down to Vegas. We got an Airbnb. The whole team was down there. Rick, Ashton, Mike, me. And we would wake up, go and do S&C. We go train at Syndicate. And then go get some grappling in that night. So it was pretty amazing getting to go with all these top level bantamweights. Because back home, I'm the only one in my weight class in the UFC, and we got a lot of up and coming guys. But you just never know. I want to gauge myself against these guys that are in the thick of it, like I am. And so it gave me a lot of good confidence training with those guys.
So is that because I saw you Dom Cruz, Forrest Griffin, Merab, Aljamain Sterling? Was that all in Vegas?
That was all in Vegas, yeah.
And
I got a lot of working with Merab. A little bit, like one day me and Dominic Cruz went and grappled for an hour straight, and then I got a little bit in with Aljamain, not a whole lot. And then, yeah, me and Forrest beat the shit out of each other.
Or how big is Forrest? Like 190 pounds?
He's huge, yeah. But it was more just play sparring. We were just moving around. Yeah.
And wrestling with Merab, how was his wrestling up close and personal?
It's great. I think he has such a gas tank and a motor. He just goes. And so that's his biggest strength is he can just, he doesn't get deterred. Even if you take him down, he'll work his way back up and he'll be there round after round, just ready to go. Just hop in there. Just what's up?
Dude, I mean, he doesn't stop moving in his fights, so I can't even imagine training. I'm sure he's 3 times as much of the Energizer Bunny. It's been a very long camp. This fight got announced, I think, back in February. Chiesa has had a fight camp too. You guys have been doing it at the same time. You said you got all this work in with all these great people. Was this maybe your best camp yet? Because that's what it seems like from the public eye.
Definitely with the looks I've got and everything like that, it's been my most, Yeah, I guess it would be my best camp in that way. But I always have good camps because I think it's definitely about your training partners and definitely about working with all these guys. But it's all about like the game plan and making sure you're ready physically and all that stuff. And I felt great for that Freddie fight, and I feel about the same. So I think in the terms of my partners, yes, but I think I get ready. I prepare. I'm an over preparer. So just like in the Freddie fight, my cardio is next level. So I've been working a lot with the PI, a lot on my conditioning. But yeah, I feel ready to go.
Who's going to be in your corner for this one?
The dream team. We got my boy Ashton. He's going to be in the UFC soon. Obviously Mike, and then our coach Rick Little.
Awesome. And another Ricky Simone. He's on the card with you, and I know he trains at AT&T Portland. You guys are both like Pacific Northwest area. You ever run into Ricky Simone before? You guys ever trained together?
I've ran into him. I still have yet to train with him because he's actually been over to Sikjitsu a few times up here in Washington. And he's trained with a few of my buddies like Austin Arnett and Sam Cecilia. Yeah, it's funny because like he was telling me a story, and he was like back in the day before he got in the UFC, and Mike just got off the Ultimate Fighter or somewhere around that time frame. He drove all the way from the west side to come train with us, and Mike and Sam bailed on him.
Oh.
And like just didn't show up. I don't know if they had something going on or something, but he's like, yeah, that's the reason why I didn't move over to Spokane and train at Sikjitsu.
Damn.
And I'm like, damn, you fucking assholes. I would have had the perfect training partner if you guys didn't fucking bail on this dude. But no, I'm excited for that fight. That's a tough fight for him. Obviously I think he can get it done. He's a great grappler. But Song Yadong's a beast, bro.
Song's good, dude. Very good. And my buddy, I don't know if you know Kevin Shaughnessy. He's like a jiu-jitsu guy, amateur MMA fighter up Pacific Northwest, but he trains with Ricky all the time. And yeah, I know Ricky is a beast like to train with. So come on, Kessa. Why'd you mess that one up for my boy Brady?
I know, you messed it up. But yeah, I definitely want to get some rounds in with him soon, just because we're both good grapplers. And obviously he's at the top of the division right now.
That Pacific Northwest, you guys got very good grappling, very good wrestling, turn jiu-jitsu specifically. And you're fighting Backer Aldana. I think I got his name right. It's a hard one, but what can we expect to see from you in the cage? What are your thoughts on Dana?
He's 10 years older than me. He's got twice as many fights as me and 6 times as many fights in the UFC as me. But I feel like that's just like a usual for me at this point in my career. Literally like everyone I fight is older than me. Josh was 10 years older than me. Ricky was 8. Vincent was 9. Fucking even Fernie was 8 years older than me. So it's just like kind of one of those things I'm used to. I'm used to fighting strikers. Fernie was a great striker. Josh, a great striker. Vince, a great striker. So I think he's very similar in a lot of ways to Fernie. I think he has more power. I think he's a little bit more athletic, but it's kind of a similar fight in that way where he's a good counter striker, got a good left hook, a strong right hand, and I know I beat him on the ground 10 out of 10 times. But in this fight, I want to show my striking. I want to show that I can compete. I think I did in the Fernie fight, with those head kicks and stuff. But I just want to continually show that everywhere I'm the best. So in this fight, you'll see me on the feet, you'll see me on the ground, you'll see me everywhere. I'm going to show them what MMA is about.
Just remember to keep those hands up for the first 30 seconds.
Dude, that's the thing. Look at that fucking Fernie fight. The only thing is I came out there too hot. I came out there too confident. Literally, this is what went through my head. I was like, I went out there and I'm like, okay, fucking let's go. I started moving around. I'm like, dude, I'm going to fuck this dude up. And then I went in for a sloppy right, got caught. And I'm like, okay, I forget. We're in the fucking UFC. I can't just go out there and demolish this dude.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm just busting your chops. But yeah, it was the only downside of the whole fight was right away, and then you picked it up and you were good afterwards. But I'm excited for this one, man. It should be an absolute banger. I just checked DraftKings because I was curious. I thought you were going to be like a -250 favorite. I'm a big bettor. I write a lot of betting articles for BetQL, and you're right now sitting as a +150 underdog. So just because I have a lot of handicappers that follow me and everything, you got a Mystic Brady prediction. I think those odds are disrespectful.
I agree. Well, I do agree, but give the guy some credit. He's got 6 fights in the UFC. He's got some knockouts. I anticipated being the underdog just because, dude, this guy's been around forever. But I'm used to it. I was expecting to be more of an underdog. I'm like, oh, they love this dude. It makes me train harder because I'm like, fuck it. I was the underdog in all my fights. I was actually surprised I was the favorite in the Fernie fight, but I like being the underdog. Less pressure. I gotta just go out there and fuck this dude up and be like, what's up, dude?
I love it, man. And assuming you do so, assuming you get through it all healthy, no issues, only what, like 7-8 months left of 2023. What's your ideal rest of the year looking like?
So I'm not gonna give you the call out because I want it to be kind of
Save it,
because I already got Flint. But I want to fight on the Vancouver card.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask about that because someone you train with is headlining.
Yeah, my girl Julianna Peña is fighting for that belt, and it's super close to my home. I want all my whole family, all my friends to finally come out and see me fight in person. I've been fighting at the Apex for my last 6 fights. This is gonna be my 6th fight at the Apex. I want my mother, brother, cousin, roommates, I want everyone to come out and support me. So they would fly to Vegas, but I wouldn't want them to fly out just to go and sit in a bar somewhere. So, but I'm ready to fight in front of a crowd. I'm ready to fight in front of people. Might as well do it in Vancouver with my girl Julianna Peña.
Dude, that would be awesome. And I mean, I'm not going to get the call out of you, but safe to say after this win, we can expect you to call someone out for that Vancouver card.
100,000,000%.
Awesome, man. I'm very excited for it. Excited for that post-mic or post-fight speech. And another question I have about 2023, because we have talked about this before off the camera. Cage Fury Grappling. They do a grappling event in Philadelphia a few times a year with like UFC guys. And I think you DM me, you're like, yo, that'd be awesome. I'd love to get on one of those. They're coming back to Philly for like a doubleheader night, May 25th and 26th, the UFC off week. Is that something you'd potentially be interested in? I know that's like kind of short notice, but they're great events, man.
Dude, no, I would love to. I haven't competed in jiu-jitsu since for like 4 years. I was on that circuit for a while. Like I won worlds at blue belt. And I was competing all over the place until I switched over to just MMA. But I would love to compete, especially on something like that. I tried to get on the last one, but they were doing I think they were doing a more just jiu-jitsu guys, so they didn't get me on it. But yeah, I would love to do that. Quick turnaround. Fight this fight, go to CFFC, grapple, and then next month go fight in Vancouver. Well, I'm trying to stay busy. This is all I do. This is all I love to do. This is all I want to do. I compete. So let's get it going.
Bro, when you come to Philly, I mean, we can get that cheesesteak. We can do something in person finally.
Yeah, and hopefully, like, they're not making me cut for that grappling match. It doesn't seem like they make anybody cut. So
they're cool with that, dude. And they really cater to the UFC guys for those cards. So just write this down or remember this if you want. If you got management or agent, tell them to hit up Arias Garcia. He's like their matchmaker, and he'll hook you up, dude. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, I'll reach out to Andre Petrosky and tell him to put in a good word.
Andre can also do that for you. He's very in there with them. I was just hanging out with Andre and those guys last weekend at Cage Fury. They're good dudes, and I know you guys were on tough together. Yeah. And we were just talking about Julianna Peña, Amanda Nunes, number 3, UFC 289, a card you're hoping to get on. How does that fight go down? 1-1 right now.
I've been saying this for a while. It's 1-1, but Julianna Peña has the upper hand because she finished Amanda Nunes. So, and then in the second fight, if you look at the post-fight, who looked like more beat up? I think Amanda looked more beat up. I think in this fight, Julianna's not going to be as surprised, because she came out completely different game plan. Southpaw on her runners, and she was running around the ring, which she did great. Like she got Julianna coming in, popped her, and dropped her a bunch. But it was like almost like a surprise. It's not how Amanda usually fights. So I think in this fight, Julianna Peña is going to come in with a better game plan and be ready for whatever Amanda's ready for. And then I think she finishes her in the 4th or 5th round.
And Chiesa was supposed to fight this past weekend. The Leech had to pull out. Is he, and I'm not looking for you to break Chiesa fight news here, but is he looking to get back in there soon? Do you know if he has anything lined up?
I don't think he has anything lined up for sure, but yeah, he doesn't want to waste this fight camp. So he's trying to get it back in there, hopefully in the next few months. I don't know. Maybe I haven't talked to him about it, but it'd be cool if we all 3 got on the Vancouver fight card.
Dude, that would be sick. The whole Pacific Northwest and Canada going up for a card. Oh, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
If I wasn't East Coast, I would be there. And as I'm just talking, 287 was this past weekend. I assume you watched?
100%. Of course.
Bro, Izzy.
Izzy, that was some next level G shit right there.
Dude, it was absolutely crazy. And did you see his post-fight celebration with the arrows and then
That
dropping
was
dead
hard.
in front of Pierre's son?
Dude, he hit all the marks. He had that shit locked in his head for months and months, if not years. He was ready to do that shit, especially after that last win. I think one, the arrows, that was hard and he fired off 3. He was like boom, 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 and then he found his kid. That's next level. I mean, the kid deserves it. Fucking, you learn a lesson. Some people are hating on him. It's like it's just a kid, but I'm like, well, the kid did it to him. It's a fight game.
It's fun.
You gotta get tough. Yeah.
Like, dude, you're a lot of fans have no experience with fighting other than watching people they don't know fight, right? You're a fighter. You can attest to this. When you get when you lose or a bad day at camp or something, obviously you're upset, you're hurt, but it doesn't necessarily affect you the same way it affects fans because it's your job, it's your profession, it's part of your life, Alex getting knocked out, losing the belt. I'm sure he's devastated. I'm not saying he's not, but he's not what I'm saying is he wakes up from that knockout, congratulates Izzy. I don't think Pereira's mad that Izzy did that to his kid. It's fun. It's part of the sport. I got knocked out. Izzy rubbed it in my face. Damn. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's he's more just pissed off at himself. He's not like that guy. That's an evil dude out there. Yeah.
And I know you're not a father, but if you were in Alex's shoes, do you think you would be pissed to someone if Izzy did that?
Well, not if my kid did to him first. I've been like, damn, my kid's funny as fuck. So I guess he gets what's coming to him.
Yeah, I don't know. And it was cool because afterwards they were all backstage, hugging and congratulating each other. So that's always good to see in MMA.
Yeah, yeah.
And then 2 other fights I wanted to ask you about last week because both bantamweight bouts. Rob Font and Adrian Yanez. That was crazy. I did not expect that to happen. How do you feel about that one?
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. I think that was what Rob Font needed to do to make a statement and put him back in title contention because he was on the rise. New England cartel. He was people were looking at him, and then he had a couple of fall offs, but derailing the hype of Adrian Yanez and coming out with a finish like that, people are like, damn, this kid's back. Especially because I didn't think that Rob Font was a finisher. I think he has great boxing, but I was more like he's a point fighter. He'll jab your face off and he'll win the decision. But he showed that he's got way more than that.
And then Raul Rosas Jr. took his first UFC loss. I'm only asking you about him because you're both very young prospects. Obviously, he's 18, which is nuts. But if you have any words for words of advice for Raul, what would they be? Just because I know you had a tough loss against Ricky, kind of similar shoes, right? And now Raul had a tough loss on a pay-per-view, his first loss. What do you got to say to Raul or someone in his shoes?
I think his fight, he just people are like, damn, he just came out too hot. But you look at all his fights, he does that every time. On Contender Series, he went out instantly, fly knee, double leg, and he ran into someone that wasn't gonna give him an inch. When we I don't know if you've heard this before, but when you fight a wrestler or a really good grappler, you got to make it a fight. You can't just give him that first takedown. You can't give him an inch. You got to make it a war the whole time, to mentally, deter them and also physically make them tired. And so the fact that the guy didn't give him an inch and was just on it, it tired Rosa out. Mm-hmm. And I actually ran into this a little bit in my first fight on The Ultimate Fighter. I got really excited and I just went hard as fuck and tried to take him down, try to beat the shit out of him. And I won the first round. But that second round, I was almost gassed. And so it took me almost a whole round to recover. And luckily, we had to go to sudden death. And then I got the win against Josh in the third. But Rosa just didn't have that recovery time. But, he, like you said, he's so young. I think he has a bright future. Obviously, his grappling's next level. I think he needs to just not, he needs to trust his hands a little bit more. And it's just experience. I think the next fight is going to come out. They're going to give him a good guy to fight. He's going to win. He's going to build his confidence up. And I think in 3 more years, he's going to be at the top again on his way up. People are going to start talking about him again.
Yeah.
Because, I don't think he's not a good fighter. I think he's a good fighter. I think he just got overexcited. He's 18 and he needs to go back and reflect and kind of create a better game plan for himself.
For sure, dude. This next generation of bantamweights, you guys are, I'm very excited to watch you guys come up in this division because bantamweight's been kind of a lull pause for almost a decade now with the same people on top. And Brady, last thing for me, man, I just want to give you the opportunity, as always, anything you'd like to say to all your fans and supporters, family and friends, the mic is yours.
I just want to say thank you to my team. Thanks for all the people down in Las Vegas for, getting me that work in and all that stuff. I want to thank a few sponsors just because they've been so supportive this camp. Eggers Meat, they've been with me since I was an amateur. So thank you to them. Thank you for my team at Sikjitsu. Thanks for Newborn Jiu-Jitsu, Syndicate MMA. I'm ready to go put on a show this April 22nd at the UFC Apex. So be there to watch. Stay tuned.
Mustache Brady stays undefeated come April 22nd at UFC Vegas 72. Brady, my man, thank you so much. Everybody, go follow Brady if you don't, and make sure to tune in ESPN Plus on April 22nd. Brady, kick ass, brother. We'll do it again, and can't wait, man. Can't wait.
Thank you, brother. I'll talk to you later.